Hello and welcome to Enjoy the View Travel. Let's talk about this week's View on Travel.
Hey, this is Brittany with Enjoy the View Travel. Let's jump right into today's news. Delta Airlines has announced that they are introducing an economy version of their wheelchair accessible seating. Currently, it's only available in first class. As you can see in this picture, it does allow for the seat portion to lift up and for the wheelchair to fit in so that you do not have to get up out of your wheelchair. So if that's something that's difficult for passengers to do, they can stay in their wheelchair during the flight. They are also working on accessible lavatories that will have unique features such as touchless controls, customized lighting, and this is designed for maximum privacy for those who are wheelchair bound. So this is a great opportunity for the accessible community, allowing them more independence as we fly. All right, so you may find yourself needing to rest at a terminal. You may have had a flight delay, cancellation, a long layover, so knowing the rules of the airport can come into handy. So rules can vary by airport. In most airports, particularly international, you're likely to get away with falling asleep so long as you know you're not taking up extra seating during peak times, you're not out in the aisleways or making it difficult for people to walk around. So some of the important things that you need to know are closing times. Not all airports are open 24 hours, so you need to know that. If an airport does close, then you will not be allowed to stay and sleep during that time. So if you're catching some shut-eye, make sure that you know about the closing time of the airport. Also, making sure that you have a valid ticket. A lot of airports are perfectly fine with passengers sleeping before flights, but they don't want strangers coming in and using that space. So make sure that you have a valid ticket that you can show should a staff member come by and ask. Sleeping spots. So you want to make sure you're choosing a quiet area in the terminal. That way you can get better rest. Try to stay away from busy areas and don't obstruct any walkways. And then also something to note that some of your larger international airports do offer paid options where you can have some privacy to sleep. I have seen some on YouTube. They look really cool. I do not know what the pricing is on that, but if that is something that you're looking to do, maybe you have an extremely long layover and you want to really get some good sleep, that might be an option for you to look at. All right, so we just had Memorial Day this past weekend, and a record was broken with the number of airline travelers who were screened at U.S. airports, according to TSA. So more than 2.9 million travelers were screened at USA airports on Friday, which is surpassing the previous record set last year on Sunday after Thanksgiving. So it looks like our summer travel season is starting off with a bang. All right, this is really good news because Carnival Cruise Line and Royal Caribbean International have resumed their sailings out of Baltimore as of this past weekend. Crews have been working really hard to get the debris cleared up from the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge that had blocked access to the port, and they were able to get that done. And so those two cruise lines have started cruising out of that port again. So that's really good because, last minute they were having to scramble and find different ports for those cruises to leave out of. You think about how many people have already booked those cruises and had already paid for airfare and hotels at that port area. And so when, something like this happens, it's a really big thing to have to move a cruise ship to a different port. And now everybody has to get different arrangements to the new port. So I think they handled it very well, and luckily it was not closed for that long. It could have obviously been a lot longer, but as of this past weekend, they are cruising again. All right, so where are my Disney fans? Conservation has been a focal point for Disney's Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point in the Bahamas from the beginning. And before Disney could build a pier for its second private Caribbean destination, it needed to relocate hundreds of coral. So Disney Cruise Line has teamed up with biologists, and they have built out its conservation management team to search for ways to minimize the impact on the wildlife in the area. Lookout Key will occupy less than 16% of the 900 acres that they purchased, and the rest of it has been left in its natural state, and 25% of it has been donated to the Bohemian people, according to Disney Cruise Line. So, props to Disney for making sure that the sea life was relocated properly before they came in and did what they had to do to make this a great stop for those on Disney Cruise Line. All right, let's talk about some resort news. So, announced earlier this month, there's a little bit of a Jamaica room boom. Jamaica's tourist minister, Edmund Bartlett, said that Jamaica's rooms will increase by 2,000 this year, and then by 20,000 in the next 5 to 10 years. Much of this is stemming from the new projects in or near Montego Bay. And a significant amount of that increase is going to take place along a 6.5-mile stretch that's part of the Rose Hall corridor between Iberostar Rose Hall Beach and the Holiday Inn Montego Bay, which is under new ownership and will rebrand soon. So if you enjoy traveling to Jamaica, stay tuned. We have some new resorts and rooms to be talking about here in the near future. So that's exciting news. And then let's talk about Hyatt. So Hyatt's next all-inclusive brand is going to be targeting a different demographic. Hyatt Hotels Corporation is known for its luxury all-inclusive resorts, and now it's introducing something called Hyatt Vivid, which targets a younger and more price-conscious clientele. The Hyatt Vivid brand made its debut earlier this year with the opening of Hyatt Vivid Grand Island in Cancun. There are 400 rooms on this property, averaging about $400 a night for double occupancy. And they offer a a la carte food and beverage option. It includes an abundance of grab-and-go options across multiple venues, including things like packed picnic baskets, as well as tacos and other food truck-style offerings. And in lieu of the more traditional buffet that you would see at typical all-inclusives, the resort offers a food court-style food hall. It has grab-and-go options available across a variety of cuisines. So, Hyatt is taking a step out and saying, hey, we realize that not everybody is going the luxury route, and we need to be able to include those customers as well. So, heads up that Hyatt has some new things coming out. I'll be interested to see how these new all-inclusive resorts work and get some reviews on those. So stay tuned for more information on that. And our last thing for today, we are going to talk about Cunard's Queen Anne. All eyes will be on Liverpool, England, June 3rd, coming up very soon, during the naming ceremony for Cunard Line's Queen Anne. And they have announced some of the performers, and the Italian tenor Andrea Bocelli will be performing. So if you have plans to attend this, please let me know. I would love to see some of your photographs or video from that. I think this is going to be, I've never attended a naming ceremony. I think that would be pretty cool. to attend a naming ceremony for a ship. But this one, I think that's going to be, that's a pretty big performer to have for the naming ceremony. So I'm sure that we will see all kinds of things come out after June 3rd with videos and stuff. And so hopefully I'll be able to share some of that with you. Join us next time for this week's View on Travel with Enjoy the View Travel. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell.